Hey, friends! Barkey J. Dog here, back with another movie review. Hey, I've got a real classic for you this time, and it's one of my faves, directed by the Master of Suspense himself, Alfred Hitchcock. So, let's jump right in. This time, we're talking about Jamaica Inn from 1939. Our story goes like this. Mary Yellen's parents have passed away, so she goes to Cornwall to live with her Aunt Patience. Patience is married to this guy, Josh Merlin, the owner of a place with a bad reputation called Jamaica Inn, and all is not well. Her aunt never expected Mary and is frightened. Josh doesn't treat his wife very well. More than that, the inn has no guests, only a bar populated by shady types who come in at night. Mary suspects they're smugglers, but they're actually something far more sinister. Wreckers. Say, wreckers would connive to lure ships onto the rocks of the coast. And they wouldn't just loot the ships. I mean, hey, finders keepers, right? But they would murder the entire crew, so there are no survivors and no witnesses. And in real life, wreckers would not stick at killing women and children. They were a pretty bad lot. Well, among the gang is this guy, Jem Traherne. Turns out he's really an undercover agent working for the king to ferret out all of this wrecking business. Now, Traherne is certain that while Joss runs the gang, he's not the brains behind the operation. No, spoiler alert, it's the local squire, who is also the magistrate. Will the squire win the day? Can Mary and Traherne stop the wreckers from wrecking? And will Mary fall under the spell of the dashing young Traherne? In our cast are several familiar faces. Robert Newton is here as Jem Traherne. That's right, Long John Silver himself. Mervyn Johns is part of the gang. He was Bob Cratchit in the 1951 version of A Christmas Carol. You know, the good one. Leslie Banks plays Joss. He was in a bunch of stuff, such as The Most Dangerous Game, Haunted Honeymoon, and the 1934 version of The Man Who Knew Too Much, also helmed by Hitch. He's suitably menacing here. And there are a few other stalwart British character actors you may recognize. Starring here is Charles Laughton as the Squire, and man, I just loved him in this. He's playing it large and in charge, campily chewing up the scenery. He's wonderful. And poor Chadwick, his butler, he's always shouting for the poor guy. Chadwick! Chadwick! It's a joy to see the two play their scenes together. Oh, that long-suffering Chadwick. Hitchcock found Laughton to be a real pain, though, being rather uptight and fastidious about his role. Hitch was also unhappy with the changes to the script he was given. And then we have a very young Maureen O Hara as Mary. She has an introducing credit in Jamaica Inn, but this was technically not her first film, having appeared in 2 other productions the year before. And if you watch this film, you can see just why she became a star. She doesn't have the inexperienced jitters some new actors have. She owns her role right out of the gate. She's captivating. It was Laughton who insisted on the casting of Maureen O Hara for the role of Mary. Jamaica Inn was based on a novel by Daphne Du Maurier, published just 2 years earlier in 1936. She also penned 2 other novels Hitchcock adapted, Rebecca and The Birds. Jamaica Inn was the last British film Hitchcock made before emigrating to Hollywood. Now, this film does not follow the book pretty much at all. For example, in the book, Jem is Joss's brother, while here he's an undercover agent for the Crown. Squire Pengallen is pretty much an original character. There are other things the script plays fast and loose with, and almost the entirety of it was shot on sound stages, but I really didn't care. The photography and lighting are first rate, the cast is phenomenal, and Hitchcock is at the helm. What's not to love? There was another adaptation of Jamaica Inn from 1983. This one stars Jane Seymour and Patrick MacGoohan. This isn't on DVD as far as I can tell. It was released on VHS though, but that's about it. You can find it on YouTube. That's where I screened it. I love British productions from this era, and this one's quite good. There are 3 cuts of this film, the original running just over 3 hours, another is about 2.5, and a third is about 2 hours. I'll link below to the 2.5 hour version. That's the one I screened, and it was in pretty good shape, so it's very watchable. This one follows the book more closely, but certainly not faithfully. There's also a good depiction of a ship hitting the rocks. That looked really good. Jane is kind of feisty in this one, and MacGoohan is almost unrecognizable at first. Gives a very good performance, though. This production must have been a living hell for the cast and crew. It was shot on location in Cornwall, so that's good. But not only was it muddy and cloudy, but raining a good deal of the time. It's hard to see it on camera, but you can just make it out. Worst of all is the wind. Man, it looks like it was blowing 100 miles an hour most of the time. It's not a bad version, though. MacGoohan previously played a smuggler in Dr. Sin, the Scarecrow of Romney Marsh, which I reviewed elsewhere on the channel. So it was interesting to see him play a wrecker in this movie. Then, in 1995, there was a French adaptation, L'Auberge de la Jamaïque. I've not seen that one. Couldn't track down a copy, sadly. And the story was remade again in 2014 for the BBC. I've not screened that one either. Reception was poor, mainly due to bad audio and what people said were mumbling cast members. I can't say firsthand, but maybe it has better audio on the DVD. Did you know you could actually visit Jamaica Inn? Like the real Jamaica Inn. That's right, it's a real place in Cornwall. It serves as a pub and has been around since 1750. Daphne Du Maurier visited the place, and that's what inspired the novel. It's like 17 miles from the coast, so kind of hard to have smugglers and wreckers going in there, huh? But anyway, it's still something for the bucket list, right? Out of these adaptations, I've not seen 2, admittedly, but it really doesn't matter. Now, does it? The Jane Seymour version is quite good if you want something that follows the book a bit more closely. But there's only one version you really need to screen, and that's the original with Maureen O Hara and Charles Laughton. Be sure to get a good restored edition to screen, not a chopped up public domain one. It should run around 1 hour and 38 minutes. This is a good one here. Not gonna lie, I've always loved this movie. It may not be Hitchcock's biggest masterpiece, but even mid-Hitch is better than most other movies. So I'm giving Jamaica Inn 3 paws up. This is a good film with some good performances and well worth a watch. You take care of yourselves, and I'll see you in the next one.